The first time I placed a stethoscope against a patient's chest in Miami, my mind flashed back to my grandmother's kitchen table in our small Romanian village. She had pressed her ear directly to my chest when I had pneumonia as a child, saying, "Listen to your heart, Natalia. It will tell you everything you need to know." 28 years later, standing in a gleaming American hospital with advanced medical technology at my fingertips, I realized my grandmother's wisdom had guided me all along. My name is Natalia, and at 53, I've spent most of my adult life in America. But my story begins in a remote Romanian village where electricity was intermittent and running water a luxury we enjoyed only in summer. Our village sat nestled among rolling hills, about 150 kilometers from Bucharest. My father worked as a mathematics teacher at the local school, earning the equivalent of $45 a month. My mother tended our garden, which provided most of our food. Our small house had 2 rooms for 5 people, my parents, my 2 younger brothers, and me. Books are wings, my father would say when bringing home dog-eared medical textbooks he'd found at distant markets. I'd study them by candlelight after finishing farm chores. The human heart fascinated me most, its perfect design, its tireless work, its mysteries. School came easily to me. I walked 6 kilometers each way to attend the better school in a neighboring village. During winter, temperatures dropped to 25 degrees Celsius, but I never missed a day. My teachers noticed my aptitude for science and encouraged my dreams, though many villagers thought them foolish. "Girls from here don't become doctors," an elderly neighbor told me. "They become good wives and mothers." I wanted both, a family and medicine. My grandmother, the unofficial healer in our village who treated everything from fevers to broken bones, whispered, "Medicine is love made visible." Never forget that. Romania in the 1980s was under communist rule. Resources were scarce, opportunities scarcer. Competition for university was fierce, 80 students competing for each spot in medical school. I studied 16 hours daily for my entrance exams, often walking home in pitch darkness after using the school library. The letter came on a rainy Tuesday. I had earned a place at the University of Medicine in Bucharest. My parents sold our only cow to buy me a small room to rent in the city. Medical school tested every part of me. I went days without proper meals, spending every spare lei on books instead of food. During winter breaks, I returned home to find my parents had saved the best portions of food for weeks to feed me upon my return. In my 3rd year, the Berlin Wall fell. Romania's revolution came soon after. I watched our dictator's execution on a tiny black and white TV with 20 other students crammed into a dormitory room. The country opened up, and suddenly, new possibilities appeared. An American cardiology professor visited our university as part of a new exchange program. After sitting in on his lecture, I approached him with questions about a rare heart condition. He seemed surprised by my knowledge and invited me to apply for a residency program in Miami. "You have good hands and a better mind," he said. "America needs doctors like you." I arrived in Miami with $235, 2 suitcases, and a dictionary. The city overwhelmed me, its size, speed, wealth, and noise a stark contrast to my village. My first apartment was a tiny studio that cost $450 monthly, nearly twice my savings. I found work washing dishes at night while studying for my American medical exams during the day. English became my constant challenge. I practiced by watching children's TV shows and reading medical journals aloud to myself. Patients during my early residency often asked me to repeat myself. Some requested different doctors. One woman complained, "I don't want a foreign doctor who can't understand me." Those words stung, but I remembered my grandmother saying, "Pain either breaks you or builds you. The choice is yours." My residency at Jackson Memorial Hospital stretched me in ways I hadn't imagined possible. 36-hour shifts left me delirious with exhaustion. The American medical system seemed designed to test not just knowledge but endurance. 3 times, I nearly quit. A senior cardiologist, Dr. Garcia, became my mentor after finding me crying in a supply closet following a patient's death. Medicine is a path of constant heartbreak and wonder, he told me. You must build space for both. Under his guidance, I specialized in interventional cardiology, learning to thread catheters through arteries to repair damaged hearts. In the operating room, nationality and accent disappeared. Only skill mattered. After completing my fellowship, several private practices offered positions. The salaries, $215,000 to start, seemed astronomical to someone who grew up without indoor plumbing. I chose a smaller practice that allowed me research time. I bought my first home, a modest 3-bedroom house near the hospital. My parents visited from Romania, marveling at the appliances, the supermarkets, the abundance. My father kept flushing the toilet, amazed that water appeared instantly. My mother couldn't believe the variety of food available year-round. My career advanced steadily. I published research, spoke at conferences, built a reputation for taking difficult cases. Money and recognition came. I sent funds home to help my village build its first medical clinic. 10 years into my American career, something felt missing. I had achieved the success I'd dreamed of, yet felt disconnected from why I became a doctor. One night, a man arrived in the ER having a massive heart attack. He had ignored symptoms for days because he lacked insurance. I didn't want to leave my family with medical debt, he explained after I placed 2 stents in his coronary arteries. His words haunted me. I remembered patients in my Romanian village who paid our local healer with chickens or help with her garden when they couldn't afford more. Medicine there, for all its limitations, served everyone. The idea came while visiting Little Havana. I noticed many small businesses with employees who likely lacked insurance. What if I brought care directly to them? I approached my practice partners with a plan to allocate 1 day weekly to mobile cardiology screenings in underserved communities. They agreed, though with some reservation about lost revenue. I purchased a used RV for $34,500 and converted it into a basic cardiology screening clinic. Our first day, we parked outside a small factory that made plastic containers. 8 workers came in during their lunch break. 5 had undiagnosed hypertension. 2 showed signs of dangerous heart rhythm disturbances. One man, a 43-year-old Cuban immigrant, had such severe coronary blockage that we sent him directly to the hospital. "You saved my life," he told me later. I thought the pain was from working too hard. The mobile clinic expanded. Volunteer nurses joined. Medical students began rotating through. We added basic primary care services. Soon, we served 20 locations monthly, offering care to people who would otherwise go without. One elderly woman brought me a hand-embroidered handkerchief after we adjusted her heart medications. "Now I can breathe again," she said. The handkerchief hangs framed in my office, more valuable to me than my medical school diploma. Last year, a Romanian family came to the mobile clinic. They had arrived in Miami 3 months earlier and were working cleaning jobs while their medical credentials underwent the lengthy American verification process. The mother had been a pediatrician in Bucharest, the father, a radiologist. As I checked the father's heart, we spoke Romanian together. I saw in their eyes the same mix of determination and fear I'd felt decades earlier. "Will we make it here?" the woman asked me in our native language. I told them my story as I listened to her husband's heart. Their daughter, about 10, watched me intently. "Can I listen too?" she asked. I placed the stethoscope in her ears and guided the diaphragm to her father's chest. Her eyes widened at the steady rhythm. "That's the sound of possibility," I told her. After they left, I sat in the mobile clinic thinking about cycles and journeys. From a village girl struggling to read medical texts by candlelight to a cardiologist guiding another generation of immigrants, the path seemed both improbable and inevitable. My village still shapes everything I do. When patients feel nervous, I hold their hands the way my grandmother held mine. When explaining complex procedures, I use simple stories like my father did when teaching mathematics. The mobile clinic now serves over 5,000 patients annually, creating access where barriers once stood. Medicine remains what my grandmother described, love made visible. If you're starting over in a new country, bringing education and dreams with you, know this: your roots aren't limitations, they're foundations. Your differences aren't obstacles, they're gifts. And your heart, if you listen closely enough, will tell you everything you need to know.